Here is your wine, sir.
Dear friends, subscribe to my channel, Viral Story Habat. We share amazing stories and viral content daily. Your support helps us grow. Thanks for subscribing. Sounds good.
He was about to sign the contract that could secure his company's future. Unaware Truth stood silently beside his table today. The waitress leaned closer, voice low but urgent, warning him the translator beside him was twisting every crucial word. He frowned immediately because trust had cost him before, and something in her tone carried painful, honest certainty. The translator smiled confidently, urging him to sign quickly, saying delays would insult the partners waiting patiently. His hand hovered above the paper, memories of past betrayal rising like shadows he never fully escaped before. The waitress met his eyes firmly, risking her job to speak, because lies had already destroyed a family she loved deeply. Her warning was not loud, but it carried the weight of experience born from watching truth ignored too many times. He looked around the elegant restaurant, feeling suddenly alone despite wealth, success, and people seated around him. The translator's calm voice pushed again, but doubt had already entered the space between promise and signature quietly. His business partner across the table remained silent, trusting translation that now felt dangerously uncertain to his heart. The waitress stepped back slowly, fear visible, yet her courage remained stronger than the consequences she might face. And in that fragile moment, he realized this decision was no longer about money, but about trust, truth, and family. His pen touched the paper lightly, but hesitation tightened his chest, reminding him how trust once ruined everything before. He asked the translator calmly to repeat the final clause again, wanting clarity where confidence had sounded too smooth. The translator spoke quickly, but the waitress shook her head slightly, silently urging him to listen beyond polished words. A memory surfaced of his father losing everything after signing papers he never fully understood years ago, painfully. That loss had broken their family, teaching him success without caution could quietly destroy generations of hard work. He looked again at the waitress, noticing fear in her eyes, yet also determination that felt painfully familiar to him. She whispered carefully that the contract transferred control, not partnership, and warned him to read it himself fully. The translator interrupted sharply, claiming misunderstanding, but tension had already replaced comfort at the table now. His partner shifted uneasily, sensing something wrong, yet unsure whether truth or suspicion guided this sudden pause. He pushed the document slightly away, choosing patience, because one careful moment could prevent a lifetime of regret. The waitress stepped back respectfully, knowing courage sometimes means speaking once, then trusting truth to survive alone. And as silence spread across the table, he realized the cost of ignorance could be greater than losing any deal. He requested the original language copy calmly, surprising everyone who believed wealth always rushed without questioning today. The translator hesitated briefly, then handed the document over, confidence fading behind a controlled professional smile. He scanned the unfamiliar words slowly, heart heavy, realizing he could not depend blindly on voices around him anymore. The waitress remained nearby, pretending to serve another table, yet silently hoping truth would protect him from loss. He called his assistant on speaker, asking for independent translation, choosing caution over pressure for once today. The translator's posture stiffened, sensing control slipping, while his partner watched the scene with growing concern quietly. Minutes felt longer than years because decisions shaping families often arrive disguised as ordinary business agreements. His assistant's voice confirmed the warning clearly, stating the contract demanded surrender, not mutual cooperation promised earlier. Shock spread across his face, not from betrayal alone, but from how close he had come to repeating history again. He closed the document firmly, feeling anger rise, yet also gratitude toward the stranger who risked everything to warn him. The translator began explaining nervously, but excuses sounded hollow against truth, now standing unshaken between them all. And in that heavy silence, he understood trust must be earned carefully, not purchased by status or confident words. He looked toward the waitress again, seeing not a stranger, but someone who understood the cost of silence deeply. She lowered her eyes respectfully, unsure whether gratitude or anger would follow after her dangerous intervention today. His partner spoke first, apologizing for pressure, admitting they relied blindly on translation without verifying truth earlier. The translator attempted defense, claiming confusion, but his calm authority now carried weight built on painful experience. He asked the waitress gently why she risked everything, sensing her warning came from something far more personal inside. She hesitated, then shared quietly how her father lost his shop after signing papers he could not understand years ago. Her family struggled afterward, teaching her truth must be spoken even when consequences feel frighteningly uncertain always. He listened silently, recognizing their stories mirrored each other through different lives shaped by similar betrayal once. The restaurant noise faded around them, replaced by a moment where honesty rebuilt something money never could provide. He dismissed the translator firmly, choosing integrity over convenience, despite the uncomfortable attention from watching guests. His partner agreed quietly, realizing leadership means protecting trust before protecting any profitable opportunity presented. And in that moment, gratitude replaced suspicion, as truth connected two strangers through shared wounds and courage. He thanked her sincerely, voice steady, knowing courage like hers could not be repaid with simple gratitude alone. She nodded quietly, explaining she did not act for reward, but to prevent another family from losing everything again. Her words carried weight, reminding him wealth could not shield anyone from consequences of ignored truth and blind trust. His partner suggested canceling the deal immediately, realizing survival sometimes means walking away from tempting offers quickly. He agreed without hesitation, choosing protection over pride, because rebuilding trust mattered more than preserving appearance today. The waitress turned to leave, believing her role had ended, yet something in his expression asked her to stay briefly. He requested her name respectfully, wanting to remember the person who protected his future without knowing him personally. She answered softly, revealing a life shaped by sacrifice, working long hours to support her struggling family alone. He saw exhaustion in her eyes, but also strength, built from responsibility, accepted long before anyone noticed her worth. His partner observed quietly, understanding this moment held meaning beyond business, beyond contracts, beyond profit entirely. He promised her opportunity if she wished, not as charity, but as respect for honesty that saved more than money today. And as she hesitated between fear and hope, a path toward redemption began opening for both their wounded stories. She feared false promises because survival had taught her hope can sometimes hide disappointment behind polite words and smiles. He sensed her hesitation clearly, assuring her respect would guide every offer, not pity or temporary gratitude today. His partner supported the decision openly, believing integrity strengthens business more than any risky agreement ever could. She explained her mother's illness required constant care, and every shift she worked carried their fragile future quietly. He listened carefully, recognizing responsibility in her voice that mirrored burdens he once carried for his own family. He offered training within his company, a role earned by trust, not charity, allowing her dignity to remain untouched. Tears filled her eyes slowly, not from weakness, but from relief she had not allowed herself to feel before today. The restaurant staff watched silently, witnessing how courage spoken once can reshape destinies beyond expectation or design. He realized redemption sometimes arrives disguised as interruption, forcing truth into moments built on dangerous illusion. She accepted carefully, promising dedication because opportunity meant more than success. It meant security for those she loved. His partner shook her hand respectfully, welcoming her future shaped by honesty instead of silent endurance alone. And in that quiet agreement, two families found hope, proving truth spoken bravely can transform loss into lasting redemption. News of the canceled contract spread quietly, but inside him, relief replaced the pressure he had carried silently for years. He visited her workplace again, not as a customer, but to ensure her new opportunity began with respect and stability. Her mother met him gratefully, voice fragile, thanking him for seeing dignity where others saw only service and silence. He assured them success was shared because her courage had protected not just business, but values he nearly abandoned. His partner arranged her training carefully, guiding her step by step, ensuring confidence replaced fear in unfamiliar tasks. She worked tirelessly, determined to prove trust placed in her would never become regret for anyone again. He watched her progress quietly, seeing strength shaped by hardship become leadership others naturally respected over time. Her story spread through the company, reminding employees integrity often begins where recognition rarely reaches openly. He reconciled with memories of his father, realizing protection of truth honored the lessons he once ignored painfully. She supported her family steadily, bringing stability where uncertainty had once controlled every difficult decision before. Their paths crossed often, no longer as strangers, but as allies, connected through a moment of necessary courage. And in that shared journey, regret softened into purpose, proving redemption grows when truth is finally defended. Months later, the company thrived steadily, built on decisions guided by integrity instead of hurried ambition alone. She stood confidently in her new role, supporting her family with dignity that hardship could never diminish again. Her mother's health improved slowly, hope replacing fear in a home once shadowed by uncertainty and silent worry. He visited their home respectfully, welcomed not as benefactor, but as someone who honored truth when it mattered most. They shared a quiet meal together, reflecting on how one warning had protected futures on both sides forever. His partner spoke openly of lessons learned, promising every agreement would honor clarity before profit from that day. She thanked them sincerely, yet reminded them courage belongs to anyone who chooses honesty despite personal risk. He apologized for nearly repeating his father's mistake, admitting wealth means nothing without responsibility to others. The company adopted new policies for fairness, ensuring no voice would be ignored because of status or position again. Her journey inspired many employees, proving strength grows when dignity is defended with patience and conviction daily. Their families remained connected, bound not by business, but by shared respect born from truth and second chances. And their story proved redemption begins when one brave voice stops a lie and protects futures with honest courage.